friends. I filmed 3 sketchbook tours. So enjoy whichever one you're watching. This sketchbook really has gone through the ringer. Like, she has completely fallen apart, and I've had to like put her back together. Also, I feel like she was finished relatively quickly, which is cool. This sketchbook was done at a very traumatic part of my life, so I have no idea what we're about to open up and see. I don't know what to warn you about, but I feel like I want to warn you. So, there's your warning, a very vague warning. Oh, also, this sketchbook was bought for me by someone who is really special. Not traumatic at all. Just happened to be in my life at a traumatic time. But she was a very kind, amazing woman. Anyway. Some stickers. And this sticker was given to me by someone who is extremely traumatic and caused 80% of the trauma that I was going through at the time of the sketchbook. And then this sticker was bought for me by the person who was doing the other 20%. And the rest, I don't know where I got them. I don't remember. Besides this one, obviously, I got from danandphilshop.com. Which I've had just so much merch from danandphilshop.com that I've lost over the years being homeless. So it is really nice to still have this. Especially because it was all bought for me by my mommy. And she's gone. Just like all the stuff. So. Juice box. I think I was drinking one in real life when I drew it. I don't remember though. This I think I saw on Instagram. This, I don't remember what inspired it. I want to say it was like a tattoo or something, but it wasn't a tattoo I saw. It was like a tattoo I saw in my head. I don't know. Something I never finished. Don't know where it came from. It looks cool though. A little flower, which this, at the time of making it, reminded me of a truffula tree, even though it's like not really like a truffula tree at all. But I do really like it. I was having fun with colored pencils. This, I never flip my sketchbooks over for sketchbook tours, and I feel like that's so annoying for anyone watching them, especially because I do draw sideways sometimes. But this, I'm turning it over just to tell you about it. I have a psychic friend in real life who gave me a psychic reading and told me about this place. And after the reading was over, I drew the place with all the details that she gave me. And she said that I was going to end up at this place and meet someone who was going to be important in my life, and something was going to happen. And she didn't know what it was, but something was going to happen at this place. And I've always told myself, if I'm ever driving or walking, I don't care what I'm doing or where I'm going or like how busy I am, if I see something, like if I walk past or drive past something like this, I'm going to stop and I'm going to go in. But I've never seen a place that looks like this. Never. So, but key details were like this sort of greenish roof, the fact that the bottom half of the building was rocks, the fact that the top half of the building was a lot of white pane windows, and this teal bike outside with the flower basket. Those were the main components of the place. The rest I was kind of filling in details just to make it a real drawing. But those 4 specific details were the details that she gave me. So, you know, hypothetically, if you've ever seen a place that looks like this, send me the address. I'll go for a YouTube video. I'll vlog it if I have to, you know? This was a little crab that I did see in real life, in fact. I was at the beach and I saw the crab and I snapped a photo and I drew it as soon as I got back to where we were staying. This and this, I saw this girl at this tie-dye clothing store, and she was so gorgeous. And these drawings do not hit what she looked like, but she was so pretty. She was like the prettiest little girl I ever saw. She was probably older than me. I don't know why I called her a little girl. Probably because she was really skinny. But oh, she was so pretty, and I needed to draw her, and it just looks nothing like her at all, because they're terrible, but you know what I mean. Evil Eye. Ah, this happened before my small business started. Oh my god, what a crazy time. This was my first ever idea of what I wanted my small business logo to look like, which it looks nothing like this now. But this was my first ever concept of what I wanted the Natural Crafts Bear to be. That's funny. And I designed the Natural Crafts Bear before I came up with the name of Natural Bear Crafts. My small business is called Natural Bear Crafts. And I didn't know what to call it, so I was making a little emblem for it first to help inspire the name, which it did. But this isn't what the emblem ended up being. But this is really cute. I mean, it's not cute, but it's like cute and funny. Here she is. This is what my Natural Bear Crafts girly looks like. This isn't the actual like photo, but like this is like the character. And I made several TikToks about the character. These actually must have been drawn far apart, because the first time I ever drew the character, it was in a different sketchbook. So I must have drawn all of this and then stopped and did a different sketchbook and then came back, which must be why the sketchbook took me a while to do. I literally must have done this whole portion of the book and then done another book in between, because getting from this point to this point, there was a lot of different stuff in between. So I must have taken a big break, although we don't know how big of a break it was because there's no date, which is annoying. Yeah, all of these were for TikToks that I made that are no longer public, because I had a mental breakdown about my small business, and I took down all the videos. Even though the business is still up, the posts for the actual products are still up, but the advertising videos are no longer up. Here's a look. This is an acorn I drew, and what I wanted to say about it was that it's inspired by an artist I know in real life, who she has this very like filled in style, and so I was not copying her style, but like I was like taking note of it because I really liked it. Here's a trophy of that tree. I just mentioned that at the beginning of the video. That's funny. Basically wasted this page. Like, I hate it when I do that in my sketchbooks. Here's a girl that I follow on TikTok that I drew for my Instagram. This is, I think, a drawing of George Floyd that I did for my Instagram. I think so. I could be wrong. This is another girl that I follow on TikTok. This is a girl I follow on TikTok, but not just a girl I follow on TikTok, a girl who is very special to me. This is Simon, so this is Dan and Phil fan art. This was again in an I can't English right now. In a previous sketchbook video, I talked about how sometimes when something has like a pattern on it, I'll see random shapes in it and I'll get inspired to draw something specific. And this was something that I saw, I think in like a wooden table I saw this, and so I drew it. I don't want to say her name wrong. Brayla Stone, I think is how you pronounce her name, but she was another victim like George Floyd, police brutality. Or was it police brutality, or was she killed by someone who hates transgender people? I don't remember. But anyway, I was drawing a bunch of people who, I think it was police brutality, but I was drawing a bunch of people who had sadly passed away to things like that, and like political protest for my Instagram account, and this was one of those drawings. Here's another one. This is Alton Sterling. He was lost to police brutality because people are evil and terrible. Here's more of my natural bear craftsness. I think I drew this for my Instagram as well. Here's another one. This is Tamir Little. I believe he was an autistic child who was killed by police. He was walking home from a violin lesson or something like that. I don't remember. Something like that. It's very sad. My neighbor is taking a shower. I'm really sorry if you can hear that. Natural Bear Crafts TikTok. A Natural Bear Crafts TikTok. A Natural Bear Crafts TikTok. I don't know why I didn't just put those all on one page. I don't know. Apparently this is cursed. This was all for the same TikTok. I could have just drawn it all on the same page. Like, I literally wasted all of these pages with tiny, tiny little drawings. Like, seriously, what is wrong with me? Like, what a waste of paper. Granted, I was like, I think 18 when I was making this sketchbook. 17 or 18, maybe both. This Children of the Moon. How funny is that? That makes me laugh. Yeah, I was like 17 or 18 when I was doing this sketchbook, so I guess wasting paper is understandable or acceptable or something. I don't know. But like, seriously, like, what a waste. Like, that actually irritates me so much. This is cute. This was, you know, those TikToks where it's like, we're gonna make an OC based off of you, so like, tell me your blah 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 features and I'll tell you. Sorry about the loud water noises. Tell us features about you and we'll tell you features of your OC. This was like a monster OC. I've done these where it's like fairy OCs, vampire OCs, blah 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 blah. But this was really fun to do. It looks cute. Here I was doing, like, you know, when, like, you're, like, working on your dexterity or accuracy, so you're drawing a bunch of lines, you're drawing circles and, like, all this other stuff. That's what I did for, I think, several pages, is just a bunch of, like, me working on my hands, practicing your single stroke, it says. I think these were from YouTube videos. I was doing exercises or something. That eye is kind of cute. Hello. A lobster. Okay, friends. I think that is supposed to be about friends, but it might just be a lobster. This is so cute. I think I saw this on Instagram. But it's a little ghost and he's driving a little pumpkin boat in the water and the moon is like reflecting and like, ah, that's so cute. Sketch Kraven. Oh, I think there's a lot of him coming up, if I can remember correctly. Because this is right around the time I went to his concert and got the tattoo. So I think there's a lot of him coming up. Hold on. Yep. 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 That's funny. There's so many little Sketch Kravens. Oh! Oh! Oh, girl, he wrote this. I brought my sketchbook to the concert, and I had him draw. I brought a Sharpie, and I was like, could you please sign my sketchbook? And he signed it, and I was like, but could you write out your whole name? And he wrote out his whole name. This, a very traumatic person who I was living with asked me to make them like coloring book pages, like custom, and it was like Halloween time, so I drew this and then I like scanned it and printed it so that they could use it as like a coloring book page. I had done that several other times also. Sketch Kraven, I love him so much. Oh, this was me planning Inktober that year, because some years on my Instagram for my art page, I do Inktober, other years I don't. But this was me like planning out what I wanted to do for Inktober. That's funny. Another sKitz Kraven. I think this one I drew outside in a park, I want to say. Another sKitz Kraven. A sKitz Kraven that I never finished because it stressed me out. Apparently I was still stressed. Like, what's wrong with me? Why am I so wasteful? This one I really like. More sKitz Kraven. This one reminds me of Maple Pines. Maybe that was on purpose. This one's a little ballerina girl. Feet. I like that one. Boobies. Hands. I don't know what this page is, but this was when I started drawing fans who met sKitz. I was like DMing people and asking them like, hey, I see that you met sKitz, you went to the concert and you took a photo and you posted on your Instagram. Would it be okay if I drew it for you and I'll like, you know, DM you a picture of my drawing? And a bunch of people said yes. And this was the first person who said, yeah, or I actually think she inspired that idea by, I don't remember if she asked me to draw her or if I did it without asking and I surprised her, but then that inspired me to start asking. I don't remember, but she really liked it and I drew her twice. She asked me to draw it the second time for sure. There's the second one. And then I started drawing a bunch of other fans that he had met. There's Jeffrey Dean Morgan. That's actually the best Jeffrey Dean Morgan I've ever done, and it doesn't even look that good, but for some reason every single time I draw him it comes out bad. Random doodly things, more of sKitz with fans. These are sideways, but I'm not turning the page for every single one. So many fans met him. It was really nice that I had done all of those drawings for fans. It was like a really sweet like connection for me, like to be a part of a community, I guess, because I've been fans of things, but I've never really felt like part of like a fan community. But that, like, I drew so many people, it really felt like I was connecting to that fandom as a like part of it. This sketchbook has some like nice things in it, but I feel like I was just so wasteful with the pages, and I don't know. I think I blocked out most of what I drew in here, not because it wasn't nice, but because of what was going on during that time of my life. But what can you do, you know? Thanks for coming around and watching, and thanks for going through my sketchbook with me. I hope you loved it so much. Bye, friends.